I am taking a very badly needed break from makers markets and art fairs. I don't know about other places in the country, but here in Southern California, they are all over the place. I've had some really wonderful experiences with them, but at this point, the bad has so drastically outweighed the good that I can't keep doing it. It seems like everyone is trying to get into the maker's market game, and there are a few problems with this. So, as I talk about these, please bear in mind that I'm speaking generally and I'm not trying to cause drama or get anyone canceled or ruin any events for anyone. So, there are some markets that I love and plan to participate in sometime in the future. And those are the only ones that I'm going to mention by name. I'm not going to publicly blast any events. Just so you know, we're not doing that. I think a lot of people with an entrepreneurial kind of spirit realize that they could make a lot of money hosting makers markets. So yeah, they have to pay for the venue. It takes work to organize it and put it together. If you're doing it right, you pay for marketing. And I'm not kind of discounting any of those factors, but as a vendor, it has been so frustrating and discouraging to pay almost $200. And that's not even including the prep time, the cost to make your product, and the cost to create your own marketing materials. Yeah, so all of that only is for you to show up and find that the organizer won't even say hi to you or acknowledge your presence in any way. And then on top of that, a lot of times these events have been marketed so poorly and ineffectively that there are almost no shoppers. So as vendors, we find ourselves sitting around wondering if there's any chance that we're going to break even, panicking because we feel like we're not going to, and then the organizer has maybe sometimes even left the event or not bothered to show up at all, but they already got paid because we paid them. I've also done markets that are advertised as arts and crafts fair, or arts fairs or makers markets, and then found that my booth was set up next to someone with LuLaRoe or Tupperware or someone with a bunch of charms that they ordered on AliExpress and they just threw on chains or earring wires, and the feeling, I can't even describe how soul-crushing that feeling is. I'm not sure how many makers markets I did in 2022, but I really gave it my all, and I ended up having some of my lowest points at makers markets. The last one that I paid to do in December was attended so poorly that I sat behind my table and I just cried, because it's not like crying damaged my sales, because there were no customers there to see me cry. It didn't matter. There was no one buying anything. So having said these things, I'm trying to have this conversation productively so that it can help other creatives. This year was so painful and I learned a lot in a lot of really just difficult ways. So I kind of want to put this out there to be like, hey, these are some things I learned, and hopefully you can learn from them too, and you won't go through this kind of really rocky year that I just went through. So my advice to fellow artists and creators who might want to do these markets is to maybe try to talk to people that you know who have done markets before and find out which ones were good for them and which ones treated them well as vendors and that they saw treated other vendors well. I would also recommend looking into the smaller events that are free or only $25 to $35 because they'll surprise you. I have only 3 events that I'm going to continue to participate in the foreseeable future, and they all happen to be free as of right now. Somehow, they're the ones that I've made the most money from, and I'm not 100% sure where the correlation is there, but I think, and I'm pretty sure, that these smaller events have kind of a better sense of community overall, and that shoppers can really feel that, and that makes them more inclined to spend money so that they can support the artists there and support the event. I really think that that's the case, and I'm so grateful for it. For any makers who live around Long Beach, California, I want to let you know about the 3 free events that I do because I really like them. Obviously, I keep doing them, and they're free, so I want to tell you about them. There's one called Fourth Fridays on Retro Row, and there's a council for the street, and I'm pretty sure they charge $35 to get you a spot in front of a business. I get to do it free because I do some freelance work for one of the shops on the street, and the guy who owns the shop is just an absolute sweetheart and has been so kind to let me set up there every month on Fourth Friday without charging me. Just a really nice guy. The second one is an event at a place called The Good Bar here in Long Beach, put on by Freshly Squeezed Art Studio, who is also, her name's Heather, and she is an awesome artist in her own right. And that one, you can feel that one's definitely a passion project. It's put together by Heather and her partner Chase, and they just did a great job. Not only did I make money, but I had a really good time. I had fun mingling with the other artists. They were very cool, very interesting people, very sweet. A lot of unique items that I have not seen at other makers markets that I've paid a lot of money to get into. Like, you will find things at the smaller markets as a shopper too that you're not going to find at like the bigger ones. The bigger ones I think tend to go for trends more, but the smaller ones are like, that's some weird unique stuff that you like, we want you here because that's weird and unique. We haven't seen that. I think that's something else that makes that very special. I just thought of that now. I did not have that written down. I think I just like worked that out in my head right now. Hey. So the third one takes place as part of a solstice celebration at a shop called Recircle Home, which is kind of like a magical, witchy crystal shop here in Long Beach. They've hosted 2 events so far, and they invited me to vend there for both times, which was really delightful and very much appreciated. I really enjoy those. Again, very cool vendors, very cool vibe, very cool customers, like a great experience, 10 out of 10. I'm not sure like how to get into that right now. Like, I don't know if they're taking applications, but I will recommend that you come by as a shopper and just kind of feel it out, because they have like projects you can do. Like for the winter solstice, it was a wreath making workshop. It's great. It's just a good time. So those are the free ones. There are a few paid events that I'm hoping to do again sometime in the future at some vague point when I can afford to again. The Makers Hive Market at the camp in Orange County. This one, you can tell that the organizers really care about the event and they care about what they're doing. They are at every event. They go around to check in with every single vendor and see how the market is going for them. It's a really sincere and kind gesture that, shockingly, I don't think I've experienced at any other paid market. I've never experienced that at a paid market. Also, after I popped out my kneecap, I did that market like 2 days later, and I was still so scared to move because I was so scared it was going to happen again. And they made me feel like, they made me feel so looked out for. The next one is the Hot Girl Market in LA. I would do that one again, not because I made like good sales, although I think it was just an off month, because I've heard of other vendors who have done really well there, and I think that was just an off month. It was a slow night. That happens, by the way, if you start doing makers markets. It happens. It's just part of the game. It sucks. It's brutal. It doesn't feel very good, but it just happens. I'm sorry. I don't have any like other advice on how to deal with it. It just doesn't work well. Ugh. So the one that I did, the event coordinator, the woman who put it together, she couldn't make it, but she made sure that she told everyone, all of the vendors, why she couldn't be there, and it was because she had COVID. So she communicated with us, which is like crucial. And the people who are managing the event in her place were clearly working hard to pull it all together and make it happen, despite the fact that there were some other extenuating circumstances, plus her not being there. They did a great job. They were very sweet. It really is kind of crazy how like a little effort goes a long way. So again, I didn't make a ton of money at Hot Girl Market, but I know other people who have on other market nights, and I'm willing to give it another shot, literally just because the organizer was so communicative and conscientious. Also, for anyone who is wondering, Hot Girl Market defines a girl as anyone who identifies as a girl, because trust me, I would not be there if that wasn't the case. They also have tattoo artists and piercers there, so it's a pretty cool event. Moral of this whole story: look for smaller events with community support. Talk to other vendors. If you've vended somewhere you either recommend or don't, help your fellow creators out, let them know. And don't pay to go back to places where you don't feel welcome or appreciated. It's just not worth it. Also, as an aside, I have met so many good dogs at makers markets, so that's been an all-around win. 10 out of 10 on the dog front. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you're having a creative day. If you're having a creative block, be nice to yourself about it. Take a little break. The creativity is going to come back when it's ready. I believe in you. Everything's going to be okay. If you want to support me, you can check out my Etsy shop. It's Pipsqueak Dreaming. I'll put the link below. I am in medical debt out my ass right now, so your purchases are going to be so appreciated. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this was helpful. If it was, maybe pass it on to someone else. Cool. Love you. Bye.